In this show, you can join in the action from home. Download the Poker Play Along app from your app provider. Poker. It excites us. It challenges us. The thrill of winning. The pain of losing. The tension. The drama. The banter. As the new year starts, competitors meet face to face across the felt to bet, raise, bluff, outwit, outdraw, and celebrate. Get ready for all the action. Legends will inspire, and new stars will be born. The most exciting poker competition in the world is back. This is the PCA.
Cocktails, TV table.
For the 12th time, the Bahamas plays host to one of the biggest poker tournaments in the world. With an entry fee of $10,000 and a prize pool of nearly $8 million, this is the 2015 PCA main event.
Day 2 is starting now, so you better kick it on down to the registration desk. It's about to close, and over 500 players are about to take their seats inside the poker room here at Atlantis.
Including the original online qualifier, who's up on the main stage.
Better make sure the smoke detectors are in full working order because that whole room is full of potential qualifiers.
Chris Moneymaker is the original online qualifier, inspiring millions to take to the felt after he won the 2003 WSOP.
You can't underestimate an online qualifier because people have made that mistake with me many years ago, and they're sometimes the most dangerous.
And there are plenty of other big-name moneymakers in the field looking to add a $1.5 million score to their already impressive resumes.
I just do what I do. I flow and write better than any. I'm the hottest, and trust me, that's not being conceited, that's being modest. I'm being honest, pop up my collar. Tell whoever runners that they spot is temporary till I take it as mine. I'm selfish, your will. Tell Miss I'm on my wealth tip. So when we cash out soon, I'm just investing. No yes man, I've been a legend since before mom and dad had me and was best friends. I don't know about you, I just do what I do. Feel me? I just do what I do. I don't know about you, I just do what I do. That's the intro.
Players are making their way inside the Imperial Ballroom for Day 2 of the PokerStars.com PCA main event.
OMG, it's Ronaldo playing in his first major tournament. Welcome. And Sergio Garcia, it's not his first rodeo or poker tournament.
Morning, everyone. How you doing, sir? We're gonna break soon, apparently. You saw that, right? On Twitter.
I mean, I'm kind of unhappy, but a little bit happy as well.
A little unhappy, but a little happy.
Yeah, because I would like to play with you a little bit longer.
Okay, well, you know what we'll do is we'll play, because you always make the final table. So we'll just do that. You want to make a deal?
All right.
Let's do it.
That's right, Dominic has made 100% of his PCA final tables.
Martin Finger bought in at the start of today, as did this guy.
Where's Luca?
Did Roger Teska and Juan come here together? Are they pals now like Denzel and Russell Crowe in American Gangster?
Chris Moneymaker will be taking a seat at the main feature table alongside this guy, poker pro Sean Deeb.
This should be good.
Morning, Chris.
Good morning, Sean. How are you?
Good. What's your name? Seth. Sean, nice to meet you. And you?
Juan, John in English. It's the same. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
Did he say his name was Johnny English?
I'm Chris.
I misheard you.
Oh, you're Chris?
Yeah. You got a world champion.
How you doing, man?
Congratulations.
I think Chris Moneymaker just figured out how to drop his own name.
We're expecting a fair amount of action from this table, especially from Chris and Sean. By the way, the Seth sitting between them is Seth Berger.
Can't believe Sean Deeb didn't know who Seth Berger was. Come on!
Blinds of 400, 800, and your first chance to play along at home is coming up.
Look, you said Moneymaker's gonna be action. He's already in this pot.
He's posted the big blind.
I know, he's wild.
It's been folded around to Sean Deeb on the button.
Sean's probably going to raise the button. Sure, why not? And don't forget, sitting to his left, he's got a world champion in Seth Berger.
9-7 offsuit. He raises to 1800. Berger folds.
The probability of that raise coming?
The same probability as that call coming.
Probably, yeah.
What's the probability of Chris Moneymaker knowing any other 5-syllable words?
Both players miss the flop. Moneymaker checks with queen high, which is currently ahead.
But seriously though, what's the probability Sean continues here with Bupkis? High. Very high.
His C-bet is 2100. Moneymaker calls.
It's a loose out of position float, but he is up against a very wide range.
5 of hearts on the turn, parrying the board.
And he's ahead.
Moneymaker checks. Will Deeb fire another barrel?
Chris is really hoping not. Sean is known to be a pretty aggressive player.
He checks behind. The river is a king, so queen high still the best hand. It goes check, check.
Queen high.
I think Chris played it fine, but it was a pretty lucky run out.
Moneymaker adds 5k to his stack.
Do you think you had a 5 there?
What?
Do you think you had a 5?
No, the sad thing is I was calling the river. And Sean, you've played enough for me to know I'm not going to fold to you.
I mean, now it's going to be fun if I know it's going to be that day.
What's that?
It's going to be a fun day now. It was a great first hand for us to play.
Fight! 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 Fight!
So Chris is one of the big stacks among these notable names. Daniel Negreanu's a master healthy stack, and previous champs Dominic Panker and Elke are still in, but sit below the tournament average.
Doesn't Jason Mercier look like he should be sweeping a temple in Game of Thrones?
So he's off to a good start. But the same cannot be said for 2012 champ John DeBalla. He's just been KO'd.
More like John DeBaya.
Harrison Gimbel still has chips, so that means there are 3 previous winners remaining, including Dominic Panker, who's moving tables.
He won in 2014, and he's going to win again in 2019. I'm calling it now.
Sergio Garcia all in, called by Roger Teska. Teska with a 7, Sergio with 4s. It's a flip.
The big stars always clashing with each other.
Sergio's pair holding after the flop. And on the turn, Sergio doubles up through Teska.
Hey, Roger, what's in that cup? Huh? Don't hold the camera on Roger too long. You know how he gets.
Among the other players at Sergio's table is Jake Cody from Team Pro. As we head back to the main stage, my action's on Sean Deeb. Aces.
Now you're all in big, big trouble.
It's an under-the-gun raise to 1800. Chris Moneymaker has pocket 3s.
Ooh, this has the potential to get real sad, real dirty, real big. Let's do them all.
Moneymaker calls. Folded around to Tony Baggio in the big blind.
Hey, Tony Baggio doesn't fold his big blind. Tony Baggio's big blind folds you.
Cool.
He calls with 6 deuce of diamonds. 3-way to the flop.
Oh man, this would be nuts if Baggio bags them both.
He checks in the dark. A Jack-Jack-8 flop. Deeb a 91% favorite.
Not the easiest spot for value. Chris would probably pay him though.
Well, Deeb chooses to check the action to Chris. And Moneymaker's going to do the betting for him.
Chris is going to bet here for protection mostly. Pretty much every card that's going to hit is an overcard.
2,500. Gets a fold from Baggio.
And Sean's gonna call here and hope Chris is bluffing.
There's the call. So heads up to the turn, which is the king of diamonds. Deeb now a 95% favorite. He checks. Moneymaker checks behind.
And I think Sean would call a river bet.
King of spades on the river, a double paired board. Moneymaker has been officially counterfeited.
And Sean is not check calling. Must figure Chris might just check a lot of his hands behind here.
Deeb goes for value, 4,400. And Moneymaker folds.
It's just such a dumb board when you have aces. It's annoying. Can't get any value with that.
It's open for the queen high call.
Chris did say he'd look him up pretty light.
That only happens once every day.
Every orbit.
Maybe every other orbit.
But I thought every other orbit we were gonna play Badoogie. You promised.
So Deeb gets a bit back from Moneymaker as we head out into the field, where Daniel Negreanu has gone heads up to the river against Vinicius da Silva.
Oh man, really?
Da Silva's bet 4,000.
Hey, did you guys know Daniel likes to call? Did ya?
Brazilians bluff. They do sometimes, but he's probably not. Are you betting a worse hand? That is the question. I have no clue, so this is what I do, and I don't know. Just pay it.
Loves calling like a bro loves a fedora.
Daniel's tens are good.
When in doubt, just pay, right? You never know. Did you think my hand was good? No,
I didn't know. I would have called it off.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like it was good, did it?
Then why'd you call, Daniel?
Meanwhile, Ronaldo's about to win a big pot.
Now he's got straight flush.
Some people are just lucky at life.
Flops a flush.
Little overkill, huh?
Yeah, that's good.
And then rivers a straight flush.
A 6-card straight flush shall hereby be known as the Ronaldo.
You look back at the cards, you're like, nope.
Surprised that doesn't work, huh?
What?
So I'm surprised that didn't work.
I know. So
Good luck, buddy. Nice to meet you, man. Take care. Good luck.
See ya, Dominic Nietzsche. You just got Ronaldo'd.
Oh, we had a lot of crazy hands here.
Yeah, sure.
Ronaldo now has close to an average stack in his first ever PCA. Don't forget you can join in the action from home. Make sure you download the Poker Play Along app.
You know, last year I met the love of my life on this beach. All I got was her name, though. I could never find her online.
What was her name?
It was beautiful. Tango Novio.
Tango Novio. That means I have a boyfriend in Spanish.
So that's who that guy was. You know, he was pretty chill considering.
Over the years, the PokerStars.com PCA has seen a string of sports stars taking to the tables, looking to fulfill their desire for competition. The latest addition to the list is soccer legend Ronaldo. His presence so far in the main event has caused quite the commotion.
Brazilians are crazy about him right now.
He's legendary at the end of the day. I know he's in a class of his own.
I'd like to see more and more pro athletes playing in these events. I think that it would be great for poker.
It's very good for poker. It's very good for poker in Brazil as well.
I mean, it's just a sign of how big the PCA is. It's such a major event that it's attracting big sports stars as well. It's pretty cool.
And Ronaldo is in action right now. He's gone to the flop against Glib Kovtunov from Ukraine. Ronaldo's bet 11K. Kovtunov shoves. And Ronaldo calls. Kovtunov with top pair.
Ronaldo's taking his time. He's gonna have it.
Oh yeah, he's got it. Aces.
That is Mr. McDonaldo to you, buddy.
Aces hold. Ronaldo gets a double up.
Look how happy he is. He loves it.
Olha aqui que eu vou bater você com o fundo do Batman e o Superman. Olha pra cá, olha pra cá.
His poker mentor Andre Akari capturing the moment for posterity.
Já tava difícil, você vai pegar os...
They have their fun.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Well, sadly, Sergio Garcia is not fireproof. He's been eliminated.
Not a Cinderella story.
Busted by Jake Cody.
Who's taking a rare break from Dad Face.
We're heading back to the main feature table where 5 players have gone to the flop.
James, help me out here. What is happening?
Well, Chris Moneymaker has the best hand with top pair, top kicker. It's been checked to Seth Berger,
3,200.
who's betting with second pair, top kicker.
Despite what it looks like, this bet seems okay most of the time. Unfortunately, Chris has got one of the worst hands possible for Seth.
Moneymaker calls. Bill Contaratos also has top pair, but with a worse kicker than Moneymaker. Well, he calls. Daniel Strelitz folds. Sean Deeb folds. 3-way to the turn.
Chris has got both these guys in jail, but didn't Chris get wicked unlucky last year and go broke in totally brutal fashion? I know he did. I just wanted to bring it up.
An ace on the turn, so 2 pair for Moneymaker, a worse 2 pair for Berger.
Oh man, that is so bad for Berger.
And he's betting again. 4,200.
Small bet. And Chris is actually not in a super spot. A raise pretty much folds out everyone, including probably ace-8. And calling lets in draws.
Berger's only left himself 6.5K behind.
That's the Seth Berger.
Moneymaker calls. Now, Contaratos is drawing dead.
Oh no, Bill, don't do it. Get out of there. Get out while you can.
Ah, he calls as well.
Seth may be seriously doubting his hand with all this action.
Moneymaker with a lock on it. Seth Berger sticks the rest in.
And he set this up so lots of worse hands could call, but unfortunately, Chris doesn't have a worse hand.
Moneymaker raises to isolate.
I know it's good on the flop.
No, you didn't.
You know you were good on the flop? I bet you weren't.
As much as I hate to admit it, Canadian of the Year, Chris Moneymaker is right.
And Seth Berger is eliminated.
Nice one. Nice one. Thanks, man.
Unbelievable. A big star like Seth Berger at the table. He goes out halfway through the show.
Mad at myself for playing bad.
Berger gobbled up by Chris Moneymaker, the original online qualifier.
Well, you know, being the first online qualifier is really significant for me. I mean, it holds a special place in my heart. Elke told me today, you know, I started because of you. If you did not play, I do not play. And it's all really cool to hear. Daniel, the young kid that's sitting 2 to Sean's right, says, I was born the year you won. I said, so basically, what, you're 12? And he's like, no, I was probably 12 when you won. So, of course, that's going to elicit a reaction. I, had to scratch my forehead. And, he actually went and tweeted. But it was fun, that's where poker's supposed to be. I definitely ignited this flame, but if it wasn't for online poker, it wouldn't have grown the way it has. If you're playing poker in 2005 and you're playing the same way, you're probably retired from poker. Poker evolves all the time. You have to stay on the cutting edge of it, and online poker is really the cutting edge. It's sort of the laboratory of where all the cool stuff's created.
If you're still playing the same way you played in 2005, please come play in my home game.
Well, there are plenty of online qualifiers to this event still in the field. Elizabeth Bennett Martin, who helps run a charity, won her seat for $109.
Okay, she's the cutest thing ever.
Jeffrey Michaels has his cat to thank for being here. He remembered he'd entered a free roll when his cat jumped on the keyboard, taking his computer out of sleep mode.
Okay, that's the cutest thing ever.
And there's an online qualifier in action at the secondary feature table. Laura Garzon, 21 years old, from Colombia.
Okay, well, I know who I'm voting for online qualifier.
She got her seat in the PCA main event via a series of free rolls. She's behind here. Second pair to Igor Kurganov's 2 pair.
Igor knew he was betting ages ago. Right now, he's just trying to figure out what amount would help the most people in need.
6,500. Laura calls.
Calling out of position against an under-the-gun raiser with middle pairs like a game of Yahtzee. It's dicey.
Deuce of spades on the river puts a potential flush out there. Laura checks. And Kurgels bets it all.
Igor could be barreling with loads of missed draws. However, he's also got every overpair and pretty much every other strong hand also in his range. The other, however, Laura should probably be calling turn and river if she's calling turn.
It's going to cost her most of her stack. She folds.
Good laydown. And Igor, think of all the mosquito nets that pot's going to buy.
Well, we'll keep an eye on Laura and all the other potential qualifiers in the field. But right now, we're heading back to the main feature table. Well, Chris Moneymaker has raised from early position. It's been folded around to Sean Deeb on the big blind. So in this hand, we're going to sweat with Sean.
Ooh, this should be fun.
I'm folding 2 in a row for sure.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
He defends with King 7 and flops second pair and the second nut flush draw.
I like our chances here.
Playing in flow, checking the action to the pre-flop aggressor. Moneymaker continues for 3,500.
Oh, we are not folding. Not against this guy whose name can't possibly be real.
Deep calls. The turn card is the 4 of hearts, pairing the board.
Pretty safe card for us.
Deeb checks a second time.
We don't want to play a massive pot, so we're cool with Chris not betting here. Very cool.
No second barrel, he checks behind. The river is the deuce of diamonds.
Now, I would never bet here, but Sean Deeb actually knows what he's doing.
He does bet 5,700.
And it looks like he's trying to prevent himself from facing a huge river bet from whatever airball Chris has got here.
Moneymaker raises. He's made it 13,000.
And he's got a disappointed dad side for Sean Deeb. Chris's line doesn't make a lot of sense. I would totally understand a call.
I guess 2 pairs.
He does call, and Moneymaker tables aces.
He'll play big one on the flop.
I guess aces was the obvious hand there. I think Chris's rep is a tricky player, helped him out.
Well, out on the floor, Harrison Gimbel is making his way to the exit, which means just 2 previous PCA champs are left, including the reigning champ, Dominic Panker. He's gone 3-way to the river. And he is all in. Action now on Maurice Hawkins.
I wish I could make a hawk sound effect every time action's on Maurice Hawkins. Don't worry, I'm not gonna.
He calls all in. Decision now on Raffaele Sorrentino.
Sorrentino, been seeing a bunch of him on the tour lately. Up-and-comer or just always gets really bad table draws.
Sorrentino folds. Panker tables ace high. Hawkins has a 4.
No way. No way.
Holy Lord, what a call.
7. Let's go. If you don't call, I call. You can't call. I have 7, 8. Yeah, I call.
So most of Dominic Panker's chips go to Maurice Hawkins. And that means the reigning PCA champ is in the danger zone.
Danger zone!
Negreanu, Barry, and Moneymaker all look healthy, as does soccer star Ronaldo. Negreanu back in action.
I looked at both, bro. Yeah, I did. That doesn't mean they're good. They're okay, I don't know. I like them.
He's raised and been called by Robert Mizrachi.
I like them better now. 31. Oh, you're calling? Yeah, you have the option.
Daniel's usually pretty honest.
I need help.
Yeah, but what about your poker hand?
Mizrachi bets the river.
Super small. Practically a check.
Daniel raises the river. Gets called. Shows a deuce. Wins.
Deuce is good. Rob betting so small in the end there probably gave away the strength of his hand.
Meanwhile, we reported that Dominic Panko is in the danger zone. Now we can report he's out.
Oh, that's a bummer. Back-to-back dreams are over. And saying you picked the wrong guy to bluff is like owning it but not owning it. It's like saying, I'm sorry you feel that way.
We say goodbye to the reigning champ. Fancy playing in the next PCA? Qualify now at PokerStars.com.
Ooh, can we do jet skis? I don't know, Joe. I mean, these things can be very dangerous.
How can I be both on fire and drowning at the same time? It burns.
But also a lot of fun. Tell you what, sir, please make sure my friend gets a really good one. A really, really fast one.
That's no problem.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com PCA main event. Moneymaker's table is soon to break, so we're changing it up and bringing you poker's all-time money winner, Daniel Negreanu. Since the last PCA, Daniel has turned 40 and been inducted into the Hall of Fame. So let's see what 2015 has in store for Kid Poker. Well, he's the big stack at the table with a couple of well-established pros on his left. Dan Kelly is an accomplished mixed game player, and Bryn Kenny is a regular in our super high roller events. He's the table short stack, playing 600, 1200 with a 100 ante.
All right, now get out your apps, people. It's time to play along a poker.
27 is the bet.
Daniel raising from the cutoff with ace-10 of diamonds.
I said 27, right? See, I misclick like crazy. I'm gonna start saying it. Always.
Or you try to always say it at least, because you know you'll misclick it.
I love the game of poker, and I love Bryn Kenny.
Marcus Ross has flatted with ace-7 of hearts on the button. Dan Kelly has 10s in the big blind.
Dan Kelly, unassuming and therefore really, really dangerous.
That's a 3-bet.
Okay, fine.
Daniel calls the 9,500.
Some would say they're not deep enough for Daniel to call there. Boo. Others would say he's in position with a strong hand. Yay.
Marcus Ross folds, heads up to the flop. Daniel flops a gut shot. Kelly's 10s are still best.
Pretty ugly flop for him, though.
He continues for 7,000.
Betting small to protect his hand.
Daniel calls. The turn card is the Queen of Diamonds.
Board doesn't get much worse.
Kelly checks.
Can't see your money. Okay, that's cool.
Daniel semi-bluffs. 16,000.
He's looking to fold out some small pairs and some ace-highs that have equity against him. This is for a big chunk of Kelly's stack and likely for the rest of it if he continues.
He folds the best hand.
Understandable. There you go. Don't really blame him at all. It's a terrible flop for him.
Negreanu up to nearly 190,000.
And of course he's got to act like he got away with something because he did.
Well, let's check on our former feature table where it's Deeb versus Moneymaker on the turn.
14.
Moneymaker's betting.
What's it gonna be, Justin Deeber?
He calls. The river is a jack.
These two have been having some battles. It's 1-1 so far.
Deep checks, Moneymaker checks. They both have king queen.
Well, I'm happy you had that hand.
He went to muck as soon as he was getting ready to turn. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So this is going to be a chop pot, and you know what they say? Everyone loves a chop pot. No one more than Chris Moneymaker. At the secondary feature table, Donnie Stern has just been 3-bet by Laura Garzon. The free-rolling qualifier has aces.
Stern's out of position, but I don't see how you get away from this before the flop. It's too nice looking.
He calls. And he flops a straight draw. Laura still ahead with aces.
Pretty good flop for Stern. Not a great one for Laura, even though she is still ahead.
Well, she's going to continue. 6,500.
Yeah, I think she does have to bet it. There's way too many pieces that can call.
And Stern calls with his draw. The board pairs. There are now 2 flush draws out there. Stern checks a second time. And Laura's set to bet again. 12,500.
Not a huge bet.
Stern folds, and Laura Garzon adds 15,700 to her stack.
Donnie probably put her on a very tight range and maybe figured he could have already been drawing dead.
Joe, I'm calling it. Laura Garzon is now our online qualifier.
Mi nombre es Laura Garzón, tengo 21 años, soy de Colombia. Estudio en la Universidad del Tolima, topografía, soy madre. Yo califiqué al evento principal jugando un torneo de 2 FPPs más recompra. Hice una recompra y una don, pasé todas las rondas, las entradas y llegué al PCA. Este es mi primer evento, tanto en vivo como de nivel gigante. Es el nivel máximo que he jugado hasta ahora. Pero muy tranquila, muy confiada en mi juego y disfrutando cada momento, pensando cada instante lo que voy a hacer. Sí, tengo pensado hoy en avanzadita en topografía, entonces claro que quiero terminar, dedicarme al póker. Si quiero ser jugadora profesional de póker, es lo que más quiero realmente. Yo creo que mi objetivo principal es asegurar el futuro de mi hija, siempre pensar mucho en ella.
I love it when the qualifiers are on total free rolls. Spin it up, girl.
And we're checking on another Latin American player. Ronaldo is up against Carquan Lau.
I am the Lau.
Ronaldo's checked the turn.
8,000.
Lau's betting.
All right, come on now, Ronaldo. No raising allowed.
It's a call. So they go to the river. Just over 42K in the middle. 6 of clubs.
Check.
Action now on Lau. He bets again.
I don't think this is a bluff.
Call.
Ronaldo calls. Lau shows ace-queen.
Ronaldo?
Just
King-queen.
Oof.
So Carquan Lau adds more than 32,000 to his stack. A slight knock to Ronaldo, but he is still a force. He still has chips. He still has a chair. Unlike Sean Deeb, Roger Tesker, Jake Cody, they've all hit the rail.
That is a good list to not be on.
Big names still alive include Olashemian and his Yellow Balloon.
I haven't got anything interesting to say. Sorry.
Well, here's something interesting. Olashemian's balloon's name is Buzz.
Subjective definition of the word interesting. Jason Mercier still nursing a short stack. While the last remaining PCA champ has turned things around today. Well, back at the feature table, Daniel Negreanu is going to the flop as a 4-1 underdog.
I'm gonna check no matter what comes. So might as well save time because I know you're gonna take it. I check.
Okay, Daniel.
Well, Mr. Negreanu picks up a bit of equity by flopping a gut shot.
Yeah, Daniel is poised to crack these kings.
Marcus Ross does not continue. He checks behind.
Don't mind it. This board hits Daniel a lot.
Daniel now open-ended.
Now he's even more poiseder.
Okay. He bets 10,500.
Again with the little ones.
It's not going to scare out kings, Daniel. I think. It can't. It didn't.
Yeah, Ross calls. The river card is a queen, a complete brick for Negreanu. But he's still going to bet. $14.5.
I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I don't know if Daniel's bluffing or value betting. Maybe he doesn't either.
Ross is calling.
I have a pair.
Just
Fives.
one?
Only one. Oh, you have a
one
bigger
too.
one. Oh, I had a lot of outs. 8 or a 3. You got it.
Value bluff, fail?
His pair is bigger than my pair. Happens sometimes.
I don't get it.
I'm burned. That's it. I'm done with the beach. Let's go indoors.
Oh my God, James, that's her. That's the girl from last year. I have to speak to her. I have to see if she remembers me.
You've got 1 minute.
Okay, let's go.
I'm guessing she remembered you.
She remembered me.
We're into the last level of the day at the PokerStars.com PCA main event, where 189 players remain, meaning the bubble will burst tomorrow. But first, the players have to see out today. Well, over at the feature table, there's been a raise from Ross, called by Klamashin. Action now on Negreanu in the big blind. He calls as well.
Everyone's dominated except for Daniel.
He flops top pair, top kicker. It's the nut flush draw for Klamashin.
And Ross has whiffed this pretty hard.
Ross elects not to continue.
I wish this guy's name was Kill Mashin. That'd be the best poker name ever. I'm killing and I'm mashing. He probably isn't too mad at this flop.
He bets 6,000. And Negreanu raises.
Yeah. Why not?
That's a little dangerous. Not to get too deep, but I think this guy can call brick, and then jam profitably. Granted, not everyone is capable of that.
Well, Ross has folded. Now we see how Klamashin responds to Negreanu's check raise. He calls. The turn card is the 9 of clubs. Negreanu is now a 4-1 favorite.
And that is brick number 1 for Klamashin.
Negreanu bets 25,000.
And I don't see why Alex would do anything other than just call here.
Meanwhile, we've got a new player coming to the feature table. It's Chance Cornuth from the USA.
Nice.
Winning, sir.
What's up, buddy?
I'm in a big one right here.
I know. I didn't want to say hi since
I check
you
raise
had-
the flop into 2 people, fire the turn. Left, right,
I even get the
combo.
hand history. I love this table.
Yeah. Why not?
He's a nice boy.
I was big blind. My range is this wide.
Once again, Klamashin calls.
One more card.
This guy knows what you're talking about.
It's a 3 of hearts. So Klamashin doesn't get there.
And he said his range was this wide.
What did I bet before? I bet 25. So I got to bet I'm trying to figure out the stupid math in my head of all what I need to do here. This. Yeah.
28,500.
I want to misclick, double count, make sure I don't do anything too stupid.
Now it'll be Klamashin's chance to shove.
Do. Do they have Jeopardy in Russia? It's the Jeopardy tune. Do.
Now I say Alex could maybe shove, but Daniel hates folding more than he hates being told not to sing licensed music.
Klamashin folds.
All right.
Cool fold.
I'll take it.
Daniel's line was a tough one to get called by worse, but he did charge heavily to draw, so that's good.
Queen, though, and that was good.
Daniel Negreanu now playing more than $250,000. Well, we're heading back out into the field, where it seems Sergio Garcia has stayed on to rail his buddy Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, look at you, buddy. Good job.
Joga uma coisa do balão. Joga uma coisa do balão. Joga uma coisa do lado. Incrível.
Well, his Brazilian buddy Andre Akari is in a hand. He's raised and been called by Ilkin Garibli. Action is now on Chris Moneymaker in the small blind.
All in.
And he's all in. And Max Silva in the big blind is showing interest.
Yeah, now it looks like Maxi wants to get into the mixy. Don't forget, you still got Mike Damone to act behind. Say hi to Mr. Hand for me.
Max calls Chris's shove. Andre folds.
And there goes the 5-point plan.
I knew when you called I got 3 outs. I just got to get one of them now. You feel a 9 coming? 9. All right, just a queen. Queen works, yeah. I'm not going to be greedy, deuce.
So close.
Good hand.
Chris Moneymaker eliminated.
No, not the massage bust out.
Not meant to be. Yep, you two guys.
I was gonna say the massage bust out is the worst, but then I remembered torture.
Max Silva, last year's 9th place finisher, well above average now.
I collect your 30 pieces of silver, you scoundrel. We like Chris Moneymaker. Dang it, he's fun.
Over at the secondary feature table, there's 4-way action. It's been checked to our qualifier, Laura Garzon, who's flopped a set of 4s.
And checks it.
Action now on Tom Hall, last year's 10th place finisher. He was the pre-flop aggressor, and he continues with ace high.
Just kind of unlucky for him that so many people hit this board.
Leonardo Emperador has king high.
Race.
And he makes it 15,000.
This is a bad time to get cute.
Jeff Esterling has a straight draw. He calls the race. And Laura Garzon moves all in.
Yep, makes sense.
Hall gets out of the way. As does Emperador.
Now, I know this looks tempting, but this is for far too many of Esterling's chips. This is a fold.
Spread out a little bit. Thank you. What's up?
Wow, he calls.
Online qualifier in great shape to keep on burning. Proud Laura, keep on turning.
Yeah, she just has to fade a 7 or a deuce. The turn is an 8. Laura's a bigger favorite now. Esterling still has 8 outs. But that's quads.
Rolling, rolling, rolling on the river.
Garzon doubles up.
Nice hand.
Our online qualifier gets herself up to almost an average stack as we hear from the original qualifier who's on the rail.
Between Day one and day two, I have met an amazing amount of online qualifiers. You know, they're all real excited, but as you get to this point in the tournament, the blinds start catching up, and online qualifiers are probably going to start feeling the heat a little bit, especially as they get closer to the money, but rooting for one of those two guys to take it down.
Back to the main stage for the last hand of the day.
4,000.
A raise from Dan Kelly under the gun with King Jack. Folded around to Daniel.
Is it 4 or 5? What's the bet? 4, and I can't see if he's got more money. Yeah. Oh, okay, I'll pay. I'll call in. Call.
Daniel, it's not money, it's chips. You're confusing the audience.
Negreanu with ace-9 suited. Now, Robert Salaburu recently joined the table. We haven't seen his cards, but he's calling out of the big blind as well.
Rob Salaburu, what is this, the World Series?
So Kelly has a gut shot straight draw. Negreanu has flopped second pair. And then there's Robert Salaburu's World of Mystery.
I would go to Robert Salaburu's World of Mystery.
He's checked the action to Kelly.
This is the perfect flop for Dan to bet and Dan Yell to call.
Kelly continues to 5,500. Negreanu calls, Salaburu folds, heads up to the turn. 2 pair for Dean Eggs. Kelly has picked up a flush draw.
Really unfortunate run out for Dan Kelly.
He moves all in.
Like 25, 26?
It's a great flop and turn for Kelly to barrel, and they just happen to hit Daniel perfectly.
Negreanu calls.
You have the draw, the 10 or the club. I have the rest.
It's a 9, a full house for Negreanu.
Dan Kelly knocked out on the last hand of the night. Brutal.
Bro, 2 pair, what are you gonna do? You know?
If you beat, you beat.
That's it.
Why is everyone laughing? You never folded, eh?
No, I'm not folding. I don't know, I just...
What's that? What's that, buddy? What?
So it's bag and tag time for all the players who've survived day 2.
Should hit the bubble pretty quickly when these guys come back next time. Money!
And plenty of big names still in the field, including soccer legend Ronaldo and former PCA champ Elke. Our qualifier Laura Garzon is playing a 50 big blind stack. Walter Fischer has the chip lead coming into day 3. Also among the big stacks, Daniel Negreanu.
Well, today went great. You know, I was really in the flow. When I'm playing my game, it just seems easy. Not a lot of, like, real fluctuation in my stack, and it was just cruise control the whole day, doing my, you know, style.
Next time, the clock is ticking for the short stacks near the bubble.
Oh.
Will Ronaldo make the money?
Oh.
It's not an easy time, even for Daniel Negreanu.
Wow. Okay, give me a minute. This is a really hard decision.
Oh!